Right guys, very quick video just on setting Photoshop up to be able to do pixel art. So once you load up Photoshop, you either want to click new there. If that's not popped up, go to file and new. So we want to pick our resolution to start with. I'm probably going to go for 32 by 32. If that's not what you want 16 by 16, then put 16 by 16 in, or 64 by 64 if you want to make it a little bit more difficult. Make sure it's set to pixels though. If you don't set it to pixels, then it's going to either be really massive and then you'll not be able to do it properly. So make sure it's set to pixels. Orientation doesn't really matter because it's defined by this anyway, and the rest of the settings should be at default. If you want to, you can change the background, but I just leave it as white and then I turn it off anyway. So if we click create and we give it a second, what we'll get is we'll get this. So if you press control, or hold control should I say, and hit equals, which is just next to backspace, you'll see that it will zoom in. Every time you tap it, it'll get a little bit closer. So we're close enough now. That's a decent amount, but we want to be able to see the grids. We want to be able to see where the pixels are. So what we need to do, if you just go to file, and actually I tell a lie, edit, go to edit, go to preferences and go to guides, grid and slices. Wait for that to load up. Once we're on here, what we want to do is this section here where it says grid, we want to change from centimeters to pixels, and this is going to read a grid line every 2 pixels and a subdivision every 2 pixels as well. It just gets you a nice grid from there. So we click OK, nothing's happened. The reason is we just need to activate it. So if you just go to view, you go to show and you go to grid, or you can hit the shortcut which is just here. You'll see that you'll get your grid. Might want to zoom in one more time, and then what I like to use is if you click B, as you can see it's popped up with the brush tool here. We could, if we wanted to, use the brush tool. I'm not going to use the brush tool, but we could do if we wanted to. Reason being is it's circular and I want to use squares. So what I like to do, if you click and hold on here and click pencil, you've got a square pencil tool there. So you can actually go in and fill in the lines that you want to fill in there, like that. And obviously, change the color down here to whatever you want. And yeah, there we go. That is how to set it up. One little suggestion, which is something I've just done wrong anyway. But when you're working with Photoshop, the easiest thing to do, and you've got to remember this, if you look down here, and I go back to this, as you can see, I'm drawing here like this. I'm drawing onto this layer. But what's much easier than drawing on the background layer, if you go down to this little tool here that looks like a sticker, click on that, you'll get a new layer. You want to be drawing on new layers. So say, for instance, I was making, I don't know, a character's head. There we go, very rough blue head. And then I wanted to do his body somewhere else, bring them together. I would just make a new layer, make the body. There we go. Look how nice that body looks. Very quick. And then what that means is I can move the layers separately. So that comes in, significantly helpful. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, we've got 2 layers in there, and then we can always turn this one off if we don't need the background, or we can turn this off if we want to see something else. So make sure to use layers. That is how to set up Photoshop to use pixel art. It's how to change the color you want, change the brush you want. The last thing you need to know, if you press E, and it'll bring up your eraser, make sure that the eraser is set to block. If it's set to brush, it's circular. We don't want it circular. So I'll show you. If I bring the brush size down, it's still circular, as we can see here, which is kind of annoying because it'll get this weird effect here of like a gradient. Switch it to block. Or pencil. Pencil works as well. I like to use pencil actually. And bring the brush size down to 1 pixel, which means you can just erase 1 pixel at a time, and making sure that you got the layers set up right. So there we go. Eraser, brush, setting up the canvas, sorting out layers, changing color. That is the basics you're going to need for pixel art. So thanks a lot.